Before he was known as Nightmare, he was simply Luke, the most arrogant locksmith in the city. His fingers were insured. His ego was priceless. If a lock existed, Luke believed it owed him obedience. Then one night, while driving home after mocking a pick-proof deadbolt on livestream, Luke crashed his car into a dumpster full of discarded padlocks. The accident shattered his hands. Doctors said he'd never pick again. Surgeons tried everything, pins, plates, even acupuncture, but nothing worked. Desperate, broken, and slightly dramatic, Luke searched the darkest corners of the internet until he found a rumor. A master who could teach lockpickers to open themselves, a place where one could master all locks through the mind. Luke traveled to a hidden workshop in a basement below a vape shop and a closed laundromat. Inside lived the ancient locksmith, a hooded figure who spoke only in riddles and vague quotes from old movies. "Your hands are broken," the ancient locksmith said. "Yes," Luke replied. "That is good. Now you are ready to learn how to use your mind." Luke trained in the strength of the mind, the flexibility of the spirit, and the finesse of the soul. He learned to feel with every fiber of his being. He learned to sense pin stacks across dimensions. He practiced tension until it would bend and manipulate reality. He studied ancient scrolls depicting wafer locks, warded padlocks, and the forbidden art of float picking, while suspended upside down in restraints. Something the ancients said he learned from someone named Stu. When Luke asked who Stu was, the ancient simply replied, "You'll know him when you see Stu do." Luke asked, "Do what?" But the ancient just walked away, humming a show tune. Eventually, Luke transcended. He became Nightmare, protector of the city's security, and terror of locks everywhere. Upon his ascension, Luke was almost immediately tackled by a flying cape. Luke didn't know it was a cape. He thought someone had wrapped him in a carpet that smelled like mothballs. Eventually, the cape untangled itself from Luke's head and gently clasped itself around his neck and flew flapping behind him. Though there was no wind, Nightmare wielded the cloak of infinite tension, which adjusted torque automatically. Now that Nightmare was a master, he was allowed to study the forbidden scrolls. In these scrolls, he learned of an ancient artifact called the Eye of Yale Moto, a relic that would bend time and space and allow the user to see binding order and false sets by simple proximity to a lock. Nightmare had to have it if he wanted to become more than just a master, to become the master. As Nightmare departed, prepared for a Tier 5 epic quest to acquire the Eye of Yale Moto, the cloak of infinite tension kept pulling him in the other direction. Finally giving in and following the cloak, it led him to a golf store on the edge of town. There he found the Eye of Yale Moto. Nightmare couldn't believe it. It was disguised, but he could see the power pulsing from it. To the common lockpicker, it would appear as a small 3D printed golf bag with clever tension tools that looked like golf clubs. This only turned out to be a Tier 2 epic quest, but that should be good enough. An evil descended on the world Lockmamu, an ancient god-like being. He came to devour the entire planet and everyone who lived on it. Not on Nightmare's watch. "Lockmamu," Nightmare declared, standing before a cosmic padlock the size of a building. "I've come to pick." Lockmamu laughed. "You can't pick my locks if you tried for 1,000 years. This world is mine." Nightmare, using the Eye of Yale Moto, looped time endlessly as he picked the same impossible lock again and again, resetting the universe every time it dropped into a booby trap that would disable the lock permanently. Click, reset, click, reset. Finally, Nightmare picked the lock. Lockmamu roared in anger. "How? It's not possible." Nightmare calmly said, "3 things. First, this world is under my protection, and you won't harm it. Second, it only took me 279 years to pick that lock, not 1,000. If I didn't give up after 4 denied black belt applications, you can't make a lock so hard I'll give up. And third, I can keep you here for eternity, trapped in an infinite time loop, picking every lock you have used to lock up other worlds as well. FAFO. Lumpmamu surrendered and fled, shouting over his shoulder as he fled. Enough! Let me go! I will increase tolerances and add security pins in all dimensions. Good. Maybe then it will be a challenge, said Nightmare. And stop using spool pins you don't understand. Today, Nightmare lives quietly, defending reality one lock at a time. He never steals. He never breaks. He only teaches locks the truth. Nothing stays closed forever, except maybe that one medico. Maybe?